Hello and welcome, my dear friend. Destiny doesn't knock, it calls. And right now it's calling you back to something sacred, something you almost forgot while surviving the noise. You're not watching by chance. You're answering a recall from God Himself. People won't admit it out loud, but behind closed doors they acknowledge your weight, the quick glances, the sudden carefulness. The tidy stories they used to tell about you don't fit anymore, and it makes them restless. They misread you once, and the cost was higher than they expected. Now they measure every sentence, every smile, every move, because standing next to you isn't casual. It's accountable. You didn't ask for any of this. You chose integrity when it was unpopular. You held your peace when noise would have been easier. You kept your hands clean when pettiness begged for attention, and heaven wrote it down. Your restraint wasn't weakness. It was proof that you can be trusted with more. Here's the core revelation. You're not fighting to be respected anymore. That argument is over. Respect is on the table already, tucked beneath envy, disguised by jokes, hidden under forced indifference. That's why some people forget how to meet your eyes, and others over-explain themselves around you. Your presence tells the truth before anyone speaks. You are a mirror, not the kind that flatters, the kind that clarifies. And clarity always creates a decision point. People either step higher or step back, no in between. Think about how a smoke alarm behaves in a quiet house. It doesn't scream because it's dramatic. It goes off because something real is happening. Your energy works like that. It announces what can't be ignored. Some are grateful the moment you walk in. They feel safer, steadier, clearer. Others grow agitated because pretending becomes impossible around you. This is why careless access to you ends with consequences, not punishment, consequence. When someone treats a rare presence like it's common, life responds. Opportunities that should have bloomed suddenly wilt. Plans that looked certain start slipping. Sleep gets thin, not because you wished it on them, but because mishandling a blessing always stirs its own storm. You've seen both patterns. The ones who honored you without control, without hidden terms, found doors easing open and tension lifting. The ones who toyed with what was sacred keep discovering that the ground beneath them doesn't hold like it used to. There's a reason. You are not just a person they know. You are an assignment they answer for. Let's turn the lens back to you. Maybe you've asked, why can't I just be invisible for once? Why does my presence feel like a signal? Because you're not built for camouflage. Your frequency was never meant to blend into the wallpaper of the world. Your life carries an imprint that refuses to be reduced. You have been refined, and refinement leaves brightness on the surface and backbone underneath. You also learned a crucial distinction. You're not cold, you're careful. Those who confuse distance with ego are unfamiliar with stewardship. When you've held something holy and watched it be mishandled, you stop handing it out like confetti. That's not bitterness, that's wisdom. From now on, access to you is permission, not assumption. You don't gatekeep to feel powerful. You curate proximity because you finally understand what your presence activates. You've seen the copycats who want your glow but not your growth. You've met the performers who adopt your language but not your discipline. Let them have the costume. You'll keep the crown that was earned the long way. You are living evidence that real power doesn't need spectacle. It holds the room by being anchored. It doesn't rush to fill silences. It lets truth do its work. It doesn't retaliate. It rests in the knowledge that heaven already ruled in your favor. Imagine a museum-grade artifact in white-glove hands. The curator doesn't toss it between guests or pass it down a crowded aisle. Not because the artifact is fragile, but because it carries history, value, and responsibility. That's you. Not breakable, priceless. And priceless things teach people how to approach them. So let this truth settle into you like peace after rain. You have nothing left to prove. The proof is what happens in people when you're near. The ones ready for growth rise, the ones committed to performance crumble. Either way, your assignment stands. Breathe. You're not too much, you're right on time. Some people are realizing too late that they mishandled someone God was guarding. They're replaying moments, conversations, decisions, feeling the weight of what they touched and didn't treasure. Because proximity to a chosen one was never casual. It was covenant, and covenant broken has consequences. You were never just someone in their story. You were the divine checkpoint meant to redirect them. But instead of recognizing that, they tried to rewrite you into something small enough to control. They didn't understand that when they disrespected you, they weren't just crossing you, they were clashing with the covering over you. And the covering always wins. That's why you've seen strange reversals lately. Doors that were slammed on you are now slamming on them. The gossip they started has turned into the silence that follows conviction. The same mouths that dismissed you are learning what it feels like when heaven closes its mouth on their behalf. It's not revenge, it's restoration. It's balance being restored to the field. Because when God marks someone, He also monitors who touches them. You've been carrying a quiet protection, the kind that doesn't need to announce itself, but still rearranges outcomes. That's why plots collapse. That's why lies dissolve. That's why people who underestimated you suddenly move like they're walking on glass. They've learned that mishandling you doesn't just cost comfort, it costs alignment. But while they're learning, you're advancing, quietly, smoothly, without guilt. The time for proving is done. You're stepping into a season where proof speaks for you. The fruits of your restraint will be louder than any accusation ever was. God is about to use your composure as confirmation. You see, your strength was never the loud kind. It was the kind that outlasted storms. You didn't just survive, your survival rewrote the story. And now the reward for your endurance is unfolding in real time. You've graduated from fighting for visibility. You've entered the realm where heaven itself amplifies your name. That's why people feel you before they see you. That's why rooms adjust before you speak. It's because you've become a living signal of divine timing. Let me put this another way. When you walk into a space, truth stands up straighter. The fake can't fake as easily. The real feels relief. You are the atmosphere's accountability, and that's what makes you a threat to the unhealed. You don't expose them to embarrass them. You expose them because light can't help but reveal what's hidden. And those who truly want to grow will see your presence as mercy, not menace. This is where your story pivots, from being misunderstood to being unmistakable. You're stepping into the season of recognition, but not the shallow kind. It's not applause, it's acknowledgement. The same people who once misread your quiet as weakness will one day reference it as wisdom, and they'll know the truth. You weren't silent because you had nothing to say. You were silent because heaven was still editing the script. Now the edit is complete. The final version of your story is about to be published before eyes that once mocked the draft. So don't shrink, don't second guess. This next chapter doesn't require defense. It requires presence. You just have to keep standing in the alignment you've earned. This isn't the preview of something coming. It's the moment itself. You can feel the weight of things clicking into alignment, names being cleared, doors unlocking without noise. Heaven isn't announcing anything new. It's simply removing what once hid the truth. What's happening now isn't the beginning of your reward. It's the evidence that endurance never expires. You're about to witness people remembering what they forgot, that you were chosen not for attention, but for assignment, that your restraint was the reason heaven could trust you with results. that what you lost didn't leave. It was relocated into the version of you that could finally hold it without breaking. So take this as your confirmation. God is clearing your name without you having to speak a word. The respect you were denied is about to return multiplied. The doors that ignored you will now open automatically because of the authority you've grown into. You don't have to run after what's yours. It already has your coordinates. It's finding you as we speak, because destiny doesn't knock, it calls, and you, dear chosen one, have answered. As we close, I want to invite you to my second channel. It's filled with peaceful ambient music, created for moments when you need calm, stillness, or gentle focus. You can tap the playlist on your screen, and I'd be grateful to have you join me there.